Well, the Christmas decorations are coming out, which means the World Darts Championship's about to start at the Alexandra Palace. £1 million in prize money, and we're going to discuss everything today in regards to the draw, the new format, everything World Darts Championship over the next 30 minutes or so, alongside Charlie Murphy.
Hello, I'm really looking forward to this, to be fair, because I'm really excited for this World Darts Championship. The biggest we've ever had. It's going to be incredible.
The biggest for a lot of reasons,
Yes.
really. The most players we've ever had in a World Championship. The field expanding to 128 this year.
Total of 127 matches. It's an increase on 30-something matches from last year.
We had the expansion in the past from 64 to 96. When that happened, did it water it down? Probably not, because it included more of the Pro Tour. I think that's what we're doing again here. We're including more tour card holders.
Yep.
And the qualifiers and the systems around the world now are better than ever.
Yes, I 100% think the increase to 128 is a brilliant move, to be honest. I think the first couple of rounds are absolutely magical. Seeing everyone in from the start as well. I love that. I really do love that. And more chances of upsets, more chances of seeing players. Rashad tweeted last year. A lot of people might not have heard of the guy before the World Championships, and it became a fan favourite. And that's good for the players. It's good for the sport, because we see Luke Littler, we see Luke Humphries, we see Nathan Aspinall every week, and there's players out there that we love to see have a run, that we want to see more often on TV, on Sky Sports, on ITV Sports, etc.
I mean, anoraks like ourselves, who follow the sport and love the sport, and we talk about it on a regular basis. And what is the one thing we always say we'd like to see change in darts? More professionals.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, now the first round's £15,000, not £7,500, and there's more opportunity than ever for these players to get it. If you've got a tour card and you do not make the World Championship, there is a problem.
Yeah.
I did some numbers on this morning because I knew that we was going to talk about this topic.
I love numbers.
Partly because I would bring it up.
Yeah.
So I knew it was on the horizon. And I worked out, what do you need as a tour card holder to make the World Championships?
Yeah.
So I wanted a factual number.
Okay.
Ignoring the European Tour. So you don't qualify for any Euro tours all year. £750 per tournament on the Pro Tour. It's £1,000 for winning the first round.
Right.
£750 average means you can lose 8 times in the first round. Win 26 first rounds, you're in the World Championships.
Wow.
Now, that's two things. One, we go great, we've ticked the box. We've got more people in the World Championships, we've got more people earning. But now do we have the flip side of that is it maybe a bit easy or convenient to get in the World Championships now if you're a tour card holder?
No, I think the World Championship should include as many people as possible. Now, obviously not dragging people in off the street, etc., but I think it's the big one. And it won't affect the bigger players if you're good enough. If a smaller player does beat you, well, you weren't good enough on the day, mate. Unlucky.
Gerwin Price thinks it affects, though, doesn't he? Because the extra round now, he said 7 wins before got you $500,000. Now it gets you 400,000. Now I know what he's getting at with that, but surely the way it works now and the seeding, it's easier to get those 7 wins than it would have been before.
Yeah, 100%. I think if you're good enough, like Gerwin Price is good enough to go far into the tournament, it shouldn't affect you. I think he's mourning for the sake of mourning and being different for the sake of being different, to be fair.
So one thing that is different, the prize money.
Yeah.
£1 million for the first time. Barry Earn's talked for years, hasn't he, that he wants £1 million as the prize fund. It's always been the goal to have that as the top. But the doubling of the prize fund from $2.5 million to $5 million was great. Is putting 20% of that pot too early on the world champion could affect quite a bit?
I think, just given what every other tournament's prized at the minute, I think it's too much right now, but I think what we'll see next year, or when changes are allowed to be made, etc., I think it will fall into line. I think they do need to change the ranking system, which I presume we're going to mention, because I think, if Luke Littler or Luke Humphries don't win, if anyone else wins it, they're automatically third in the world. That's a bit not 100%.
But only if Luke Humphries wins, he's the only person that can knock Littler off top spot.
Yeah.
Which just shows the dominance they've had over the years.
Yeah, they deserve to be there. They've been the best all year, well, for 2 years.
And obviously that £1 million puts you in the top 4, gets you that Premier League spot as well for a couple of years guaranteed.
Yeah, that's not quite right in my opinion. For instance, someone has a ridiculous run. I don't know, Charlie Manby, for instance, which he could definitely do it. Should he be in the Premier League straight away? Probably not. I don't think. I think there's probably 8 other players that deserve to be more. If he wins the World Championship, though, you're like, well, he's got to be in there. So I can't work it out. To be fair, I just can't get my head around it. That and not necessarily, nobody is the complete word, but someone we're maybe not familiar with that just went on a crazy run, wins the World Championship, and then gets all these other tournaments and they might not be ready for.
Life changing.
Yeah. For instance, a lot of people were saying don't put Luke Littler in the Premier League when he came second to Luke Humphries. For him, it's worked. He's gone on to be this champion. People
forget that, by the way, because I see a lot, like Laura Turner very recently spoke about Bergh Greaves and said about Bergh Greaves being in the Premier League. People said not about Luke. And the comment section blasted Laura Turner at the time. All like, who said that? Who said that? Like, go back and read the comment. Like, it was so anti-Luke Littler at the time.
It was.
And it's only because it's aged in a different way that it's remembered in a different way.
Yeah, 100%. It was, everyone was like, well, if he wins, do you think we still give him a spot? And then he didn't win and he still got a spot. And a lot of people were quite shocked. But it's worked out brilliant. Would it work out like that for everybody? Definitely not. It could do for someone, but it might not.
I mean, one thing I was scouring through this morning, though, while we're on the topic of sort of prize money and how it changes, is I thought, what was it like when the World Darts Championship first started for the PDC, when the sort of breakaway happened and it was sort of, they knew what they wanted to do. They knew this is the World Championship they wanted, but what did they have to endure first? Do you know how much I'm going to cover this up.
I've not got my glasses on, so...
Do you know how much the first world champion got of the now PDC?
25,000.
16 grand.
Bloody hell.
So that was in 1994. So what do you think happened in 1995? It was 16 grand in 1994. Where do you think it went the year after?
Logic would say it went up a little bit, but the way you've said it, I wouldn't be surprised if it went down.
Oh, right. Okay. You see in the buff. You're right. It was £12,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, we'll carry on this higher or lower game. Where are we going for the year after?
10,000.
Oh, it went back up again, 14. So we're going the right way.
Yeah.
1997. So we've just had Euro 96. Gareth Southgate's just missed the penalty.
25,000.
45.
Ooh.
So we got a jump, but then it never reached that for the next 5 years. It dropped years after. So there's been like a fluctuation, in terms of prize.
So we could see it seems unlikely, but it wouldn't be stupid to say we could see it go down, even though that's unlikely with the way darts is heading. But
it's very unlikely.
Yeah.
You know, this deal comes off the back of broadcast arrangements with Sky, who signed into a long-term deal.
Yeah.
Sponsors, as of recording this right now, signed up to 2031.
Yeah.
So there's loads of positive news that this is secure. And if anything, it's certainly going to go up the other way. But it's interesting, isn't it? 1995, 1996, 12,000 and 14,000 for being the world champion. You now get that for turning up.
Do you think that it would disencourage some players that do, for instance, Luke Littler, Luke Humphries, that they could win so much money within a couple of years and then just think, this is enough for me. I don't want to do a full career like Phil Taylor did.
Yeah. I think Luke Littler does.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if Luke Littler plays beyond between 5 and 10 years.
Because he would make so much money away from darts as well. It's not just prize money, let's forget, because these people are advertisers, stars. They'll be getting a lot of sponsorships and things like that.
He can go do some streaming. He can go in the jungle and eat some horrific things.
Yeah.
And that's just when they win.
Yeah.
So that's the interesting permutations out of the way. What about the nitty-gritty? What about the actual darts? When we look at this, we've got a lot of debutants.
Yeah.
I think we've got a lot of seeds about to fall in the opening round. 32 players are seeded for this event. I think we're going to lose quite a few of them. But what for you, first of all, stands out as a real exciting debutant?
Charlie Manby.
I'm looking forward to seeing Andreas Harrison.
Yes. Yeah, I backed him in my prediction video, actually, to win. Yeah.
Beat Ross Smith.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good.
Well, let's move on into that then. We'll move into some predictions.
Yeah.
I've got a little list here of seeds I think are in trouble in the first round. Let me know what you think and add any in that you want to add as well. So I've gone with Ross Smith to lose to Andreas Harrison.
Yeah.
I think Andreas Harrison's an exceptional player with great experience. Ross Smith's only won 5 times on the Alexandra Palace stage.
Yes, one of them has he's got the most 180s before. Might have been before Luke Little that though. To be fair, in a match, so he can play there. But yeah, Harrison is absolutely fantastic player, isn't he?
Debuted in 2014, Ross Smith. So that for me is just, and TV form not been good. First round of the match play, first round of the Grand Prix, 1 win at the UK Open, 1 win at Minehead. It's not been a great year.
Edhouse versus Tata. I do not know who Tata is.
So Johnny Tata's just been playing in the Australian Premier League.
Okay.
So great bit of experience there. Playing with Whitlock, who obviously won it, and Raymond Smith, good players. Runs about an 86 average. So I don't think this is about Tata coming and beating Edhouse. I think this is a case of, is there frailties in the Richie Edhouse game?
And the next one you've got is Brooks v Cullen. If you're going for an upset, do you think Cullen's going to win? Because I think Bradley Brooks is the favourite there.
Bradley Brooks is the favourite.
Yeah,
8-13, the favourite. But we're looking at those seeds that could potentially fall here.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Cullen got past Brooks.
But we've been there before, haven't we? This is where with Cullen, I end up playing both sides.
Yeah.
Because I think Bradley Brooks is a good play. I think he's playing amazing this year. He's won a Pro Tour, running over 100 average for a lot of his games. He's playing like a top 32 player statistically.
Yeah.
Statistically, is a top 32 player.
Yeah.
Cullen still is a top 32 player, right? Not just for now.
Yeah.
But Corey Cadby, a couple of years ago, Joe Cullen, we did the same. We went, Corey Cadby's playing great. He's going to beat Joe Cullen. Cullen comes out angry and wins.
Yeah.
Last year, Vessel Nyman. This is the guy. He's going to beat Joe Cullen. Didn't. Joe Cullen goes, stick that up, stormed out the room.
Yeah.
So is this the same situation where Joe Cullen looks at this and goes, Bradley Brooks has been around 10 plus years and he's never been on my level. Why is he favourite?
Yeah. One of the things I'll say is he can maybe do that for a game, Joe Cullen. But we've not seen it on a run. We've not seen that fire in his belly certainly come out in his game to get anywhere deep into a tournament recently. So even if he gets past Brooks, I just on his form and some of his interviews where he said he's lost a bit of the love for the game, fair enough. I don't know. That's the reason why I can't pick him to go far.
Oh, I'm picking Bradley Brooks. I'm just, chucking in the opposite side. What about the man with one of the greatest nicknames in darts, Mr. Ice Cold Darren Beveridge? He's got Dimitri Vandenberg. Now, Dimitri Vandenberg, for me, is probably one of the most sitting seeds in the whole game. And I think it's in trouble of losing his tour card. He's defending the UK Open money at the start of next year. He's playing nowhere near that sort of level of form. Yes, he reached quarterfinal on a Pro Tour recently. Opened up well for him. Best average, 90.59. So, Beveridge is playing better than that over a season. Obviously, the big stage comes into play, but does Dimitri Vandenberg actually be a different version of himself? Because he's not going up there playing regularly and full of confidence. He's maybe going up there going, I don't know what to expect right now.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I think Beveridge could take him out.
I'm going to go with Dimmy on this one. I don't really know too much of the other guy, but I'm going to back Dimmy. I don't know, I have a feeling that he might do, but he did quite pretty well at the Masters. 9 darter against Michael van Gerwen, I think it was. I was there. That was pretty incredible. I think he could do well.
Okay, so we're against on that. You think Dimitri gets through. Yeah. I'm going for another seed there to fall.
Okay.
This is one where, again, I'm looking at the seed and going, there's frailties in Dave Chisnall against Fallon Sherrock a few years ago now. Time is really coming between these wins where the story's moved on now.
Yeah.
Can she recreate that and get that win over Dave Chisnall?
I think she'll be the fan favourite there live. I think the fans will be behind her, and I don't think that's what Chizzy will necessarily want or need with where his game's at the minute. So yeah, I agree, Fallon for that one.
Bo Greaves, Gurney, most 50-50 game of the round?
Yeah, 100%. It's how Gurney will react, really, I think. I think it's how he'll take the game. Because, again, I think the fans will be behind Greaves. So it's how he reacts. We've seen him in some games. He's probably best when he's fired up. Will he be really fired up and kind of angry attitude towards Bo Greaves? I doubt it. I bet he doesn't do his shove.
Yeah, he's not barging off the stage, is he?
No. So
Bo Greaves obviously played Ali Pali before. Last time was a good few years ago now. Lost 3-0 to William O'Connor. is that far in the past, which is certainly my logic here. Greaves has evolved so much since then that result's almost irrelevant, and it's not form we can draw upon.
No, it's not. It's not. She's too good now compared to what she was before. Different player, different attitude, different experience, new darts. Yeah, I think she'll be good.
Any other seeds you see being in danger potentially?
I did have, I'm not sure if it was first round, but I did have Damon Heta, a question mark against him.
Steve Lennon.
Yeah, just because I don't think he's had the best of years, to be honest, Damon Heta. To be fair, this time last year, he was flying and there was Premier League talk, and that's evaporated. So, I was but again, Steve Lennon, I don't know.
Tell you who I'm looking forward to watching?
Yeah.
Max Hopp.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You know, when we look at someone whose career completely stalled and looked like he was never going to get back to anything like Alexandra Palace, and here he is. He's got Martin Luntman in the opening game, who's really struggling right now.
Yeah.
Max Hopp could get a win here.
100%, definitely, yeah. Luntman's struggling, tinkering with his equipment, so he's not full of confidence with what he's using. Yeah, definitely.
We're chucking names around here as potential upsets, but the main thing is who's going to win the World Championship? Who's going to go on and lift that? Who are the in-form players right now? I've got a list.
Yeah.
And this is how darts is changing. Because when you went into the World Championship before, it was Phil Taylor will win it, Michael van Gerwen will win it. It'll be Michael van Gerwen or maybe Gary Anderson. Oh, look, Adrian Lewis as well. And you sort of pick a few up. I've got a list here of potential winners. And you'll probably end up adding more to it. I'm going to read them out. Jan van Veen. No. Oh, well, that's the ended conversation early.
Yeah.
Not a contender.
No, I don't think so, no. I think he did well at the European Championships and he is a really good player. Do I think he's got what it takes to start winning multiple tournaments at the minute? No.
Is this down to the upset defeat he had the previous year, or is this just
based on what I've seen? I think he's an absolutely fantastic player. He's brilliant. Don't let that slip. But I think there are better mindset players and players that will just get over the line more than him in the big games.
Interesting. Yeah. How about Josh Rock then?
I think he could, definitely. I think he's got the game as well. I think he needs to get over the line a couple more times, if that makes sense. He's further ahead than Van Veen, in my opinion, but not quite there yet. But I'd love to see him win it.
Okay. Well, my list ain't going well on your side of things. Yeah. I've just put Luke's. We know what that means. Littler and Humphries.
You've got a list, and I've just got one name, Luke Littler.
Yeah.
He's going to win the World Championships again, back to back. And it's going to be quite easy for him, I think.
Easy?
Yeah. Okay. I do, yeah. He's too good. I think once he gets through, he'll go out really determined in these long format, first format games because he knows no room for slip up. I think in the later few rounds, we might see him come out slow. He'll just switch it on.
It's interesting you say that because I used the term at one point for Luke Littler. I called him vulnerable.
Yeah.
And by vulnerable, what I mean is there's parts of a game for Luke Littler where he's 4 legs behind.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't take out this 150, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
And he takes out the 150.
Yeah.
And then the next leg, it's like, oh, he's got to go out in 12. He goes out in 12.
Yeah.
And the reason I called him vulnerable was I says, surely at some point he's not going to be able to do these big magical moments. And it's now that point where I just believe actually he can.
Yep, I fully agree. I think the only way he doesn't win is if someone comes up with something magical to beat him.
Yeah.
And that's just going to be a one-off, like, wow, what have we just witnessed there? Someone averaging 110.
And the thing is, in the past, you used to say, get stuck into someone early, get stuck into... It doesn't matter with Luke.
No.
Doesn't matter.
No, unless it was a short format game. So...
We've seen it on the European tour.
Yeah. But can someone who he's going to face in the first couple of rounds, going to have that quality? I don't think so.
Just to complete my list then, I've got 4 more on here for you to probably sit there and say no to. Gerwyn Price.
If I had to do a second pick, it'd be him.
Okay.
Because I think he's one of the most likely to beat Littler. So he would be my second pick. But he's not, like I said, I just had a one-man list.
Nathan Aspinall.
Fantastic a few weekends ago in the final against Littler. But I don't think he can match Littler in a match. I think it's too friendly most of the time between those two. And I think that plays into Littler's hands. I think if you are going to beat Littler, you've got to get under his skin a little bit.
Danny Knoppert.
Yeah, again, semi-finalist. I know he reaches all the semi-finals, but I think he'll be a semi-finalist.
How about this one then, to finish off with my list? Is it time for James Wade?
No.
Will it ever be time for James Wade?
Well, while Luke Littler's around, probably not, because then there's other people going to pick up the pieces. But we've seen him in the match play final. He didn't do too badly, to be fair. Great player, but no.
Not on there. Right, so I guess we'll sign this off with making our predictions.
Yep.
And winner, I think we're both going the same place.
Yep.
Looking at Luke Littler, going back to back, extending himself as the world number one. Yep. And that's another question in itself. How long does he stay there? If he puts £1 million on his prize money, well, for the next few years?
100%, yeah. I can't imagine him stopping at the World Championship. I think he'd go on to the next tournament and win that as well. I just can't see past him winning at the minute. I can't see him losing.
Yeah,
in the big ones, I just really can't.
There's a lot of people that will agree with you on that.
Yeah.
You're very, very brave to take him on in anything right now. So absolutely, we're both going down the road of Luke Littler. What about for a bit of a run? I'm going for my old pal Ryan Searle. I think he's got a great little section of the draw, and he's always due. So it always feels like something's going to happen for Ryan. I think he has a run at this year's World Championship.
I'd like that, to be fair. I really would. I really like watching Ryan Searle. I really like him. Yeah, I'd love that. I'm in agreement saying I see what you've got next for the shock early exit. You've got Cross and Bunting down there. I actually agree with Bunting. And I think a lot of people will be upset with that because he's a fan favourite. And I love Stephen Bunting as well, but who was he facing? Bunting? I'd forgotten, but I was like, he could get beat there.
Yeah, the thing that was interesting for me and why I've got Cross and Bunting, obviously we talked about the seeds that I think are going to fall. I think they're more likely than Cross and Bunting. I think they've got okay draws, but the reason I've got those is because of the shock factor it would have to the rankings.
Yeah.
Bunting then would be in danger of being in the top 4, which I think would mean he wouldn't be in the Premier League. I think if Bunting's not in the top 4, he's not in.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a selection. And Rob Cross goes out the top 16, which means no Premier League. You know, both Rob Cross and Scott Williams defending big money from a couple of years ago, semi-final run.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of shaking up in the rankings. And if these two lose early, they could be 2 more big names to go on the list of the likes of Peter Wright, Dimitri van den Bergh, Joe Cullen, people we've seen slip away recently.
I don't think that will be the case for Bunting because I think he shows up enough at pro tours and it will go deep enough in certain tournaments. Could be for Cross though, and I'd be gutted at that. So I hope that doesn't happen. I hope he does manage to pick up some ranking money and move back up the rankings. But yeah, I think Bunting's too good and too consistent throughout the year to be in danger of that. I think he's probably better than people like Dimitri van den Bergh and Peter Wright at the stage they're at now. I think he's better than that.
128 players are going to walk onto the Alexandra Palace stage.
Yeah.
What name are you looking forward to seeing?
Paul Greaves, Charlie Manby. They're my 2.
I 100% am with Bo Greaves.
Yeah.
There's every couple of years a story develops. We had the Luke Littler story, didn't we, develop a couple of years ago? And there's sort of the Fallon Sherrock story. There's always a big story early on that you're really looking forward to seeing. For me, it's Bo Greaves. How does she get on? How far can she go? Can she go and do what Littler did a couple of years ago? She's certainly got the game and the ability. And I tell you what else she's got as well. Fear factor.
Yeah.
Nobody wants Bo Greaves. I guarantee you Daryl Gurney did not want that draw.
No. Yeah, there's 2 reasons. There's a game and she's a female. But both of them make it difficult. Give something different to think about. The fans as well will come into it. Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Gurney, to be fair. Yeah.
Well, that is Charlie Murphy. I'm Matthew Edgar. These are our thoughts on the Alexandra Palace and the upcoming World Darts Championship. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments.